Hello, gurus. Welcome. We are live. And this is just the beginning of probably what's going to be a very interesting stream. This is unlike the other streams that we've done in the past. Normally we do a exam question walkthrough, and we still want to do those things in the future. But we decided we wanted to try something a little bit different under the ACG Live umbrella. That being something we're calling challenge mode. So joining me today for challenge mode is Matthias Anderson.
Hello. Oh, did you want me to say more stuff? I'm Matthias
No,
Anderson.
that's
I'm
okay.
one of, yeah. Whatever. They don't care about me. Yeah, let's get to the featured person here.
All right. And then the other person that is joining us today, all the way from the rugged Badlands of Australia, next to a bunch of llamas, it's Lars Clint.
What's happening? Hello,
Where are
can
the
you hear me?
llamas? I was promised llamas.
Oh,
I don't
llamas.
see them in.
No.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Yes, I kind of know why I'm here, but these two have kept most of the details from me. So, yeah. What are we doing? I'm excited. Let's see.
That's the fun part here. Scott, you want to explain it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are doing challenge mode, and the whole idea behind challenge mode is to explore a little feature on the ACG platform that we've recently implemented, and it's part of the hands-on labs functionality feature. And you can go through hands-on labs in a guided mode, or you can do a challenge mode where there's going to be no prompts whatsoever. You kind of have to dig your way through. And we thought it would be fantastically hilarious and very amusing for everyone watching if
Except
we
me.
were to if we were to force Lars, who is an Azure guy, to go through a lab, a challenge lab, that is built for the AWS platform. And that's why we call it challenge mode. He has never seen this lab. It's going to be all new to him. And feel free also, I'm going to let you guys know what this lab is in a bit. Feel free to play along too. If you have an account, you can go log into the A Cloud Guru platform.
I need your help, please.
Yeah, we will be offering Lars opportunities such as phone a friend or consult the chat. So
Ask the audience,
this is
right?
going to be
Oh,
very
wait.
very interactive.
Not allowed to call it that.
So Matthias, how about just tell me why you think that this challenge mode functionality and feature is important for our learning process?
Yeah, just before I jump into that, I just want to say hi to the people who are joining us from India, Nigeria, all Ukraine, New Zealand, all over the place. So thanks for joining us. We are going to be paying attention to the chat and including you, like Scott was saying. But so in particular about the challenge labs, one of the really interesting things to think about when you're trying to study for something, whether it's a certification or whether you have a project that you're dealing with, or you just want to break into something interesting, the whole point is to learn, right? Like, I mean, it's not about getting a piece of paper that says something. It's all about what you take away in your brain from that, from the time that you spend on it. And so when you're trying to get the best return on your time investment, you have to understand that your brain sort of brings in information in different ways. And one of the really important ways to do that is to challenge your brain to think hard about something. When your brain sort of starts tuning out a little bit, you don't remember, you don't understand, you don't learn, you don't have something that you come away with that you can apply. But when you challenge your brain, then you engage more with the material, you understand then what it is that's actually going on underneath all of the people said this, I saw this, I heard about this. It's the getting your hands dirty and actually understanding what it means so that you can then go and apply that yourself. So when you're challenged, that's really an important way to engage your brain. And these labs are designed in a way to challenge you so that you come in with a certain amount of information. Sometimes you have a lot of it, a lot of background, sometimes you don't. And this is an interesting situation today with Lars because he has a lot of information and understanding about Azure, but that's the wrong cloud. So we're kind of curious how much of that will carry over. We definitely think a lot of it will, but there are also definitely going to be things that he's never had a chance to see. So I think that Lars is going to learn a lot because he's being challenged. And I know that the rest of you can also learn a lot by being challenged. So that's why the challenge mode is such an important way of interacting with labs and why it's a part of the A Cloud Guru platform. And in particular, as a part of the package. Wait, did we talk about no, we didn't mention that yet, did we? Maybe we should get into that. Lars gets to do the honors, doesn't he, of talking about what our fine contestants that are not Lars could potentially win today.
Yeah, I get nothing. And I'll just like to clarify as well that Azure is the right cloud, not the wrong cloud. So it's no, but it is genuine. This we have not in any way rehearsed this. I do not know what is coming. I have no clue. I have on purpose not gone and tried out a whole bunch of AWS labs because I want this to be as raw as it possibly can be. So who knows? It might all explode in a big ball of fire. But you'll be with me for the ride. Yes, so you can win. Yes, I'll be on fire. No, you can win if you're watching the stream, and there are certain conditions. I know they're going to be in the chat, so there is a few T's and C's you need to abide by. But you can win one of 10 premium plus annual subscriptions for the ACG platform, which is kind of cool because that's where the challenge labs are, right? That's where the hands-on labs are. So do join in, do help me where you can, and I believe, am I saying? Did we always say that? I can't remember, but the question is like, how long do you think it'll take me to finish it? And you are more than welcome to say DNF, did not finish. Right, that is a valid answer. But you can win. So please do join in and help me on the way, because these two, which I've now dubbed Statler and Waldorf, will help me on the way, hopefully, but they might also not, because I don't trust them. So I need your help.
All right, that's it. So for those in the chat, we're simulcasting on YouTube and Twitch. I have YouTube up here. I don't have Twitch up here. But in the respective chats, there should be a link being distributed about the registration for this. And you do have to register to be eligible for these 10 giveaway accounts. And what we're going to ask here is that you place your best guess as to how long it's going to take Lars to complete these labs. Never having seen these labs, having very minimal, if any, I guess, experience with AWS.
Very little.
Yeah. How long it's going to take him from start to finish. And I think we'll ask maybe Grace if you could be a timekeeper. Grace is our lovely producer behind the scenes. She does all the layouts and the switching and stuff like that, and makes us look like we know what we're doing, which is frighteningly scary. Yeah. So maybe once we start, we can have Grace do the timekeeping there, and then once Lars has finished, we'll call time there. But before we start, we want you to go ahead and place your time estimates in the chat so that we can go back, we can scroll back in the chat after Lars has done his activity and see who was the closest to the actual time. And again, you can also say he's not going to be able to finish. We have right now 50 minutes left in this stream. It's not a hard deadline, but usually we try to end these streams in about an hour. So we're not going to let him flounder on for 3 hours. So we'll have mercy there. But
yeah, right.
Again, Lars has the ability to phone a friend or ask the chat. And so chat, if you know how to direct him, then please do, and we'll relay the message, maybe. We'll see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see some.
Well,
I see some messages coming in, some guesses coming in on the chat. I think that those people are probably also just publishing their guesses because I'm sure they also would have put them into the place where it counts, which is the link that you have to fill in the form. Just in case you hadn't, make sure you're following the link.
oh,
So,
yes. Yes.
yes.
Yeah, you have to do that link. You have to do the link to register for all that stuff. Okay. All right. Well, hello, Nigeria. Hello, Oregon. Best of luck, Lars. Yeah, he's going to need it. Hello, Bulgaria. All right. Okay. All right, Lars. Are we ready? Are we ready?
Well, I don't know about ready, but let's do it.
Okay. So we have a special screen layout here where we're going to be able to see Lars's screen. It's quite an elaborate stream we have going on, so who knows how well this is going to work here. But Lars is sharing his screen, and we're going to be able to see exactly what he sees. So if we could switch over to that, I will reveal the lab.
You love this
Okay.
bit, don't you, Scott?
I do. All right, everybody. Oh, 39 minutes, that's good. All right. So let's see. It is roughly 12 minutes after the hour right now. We'll start the time right now. The lab that we're going to have for you today, Lars, is entitled Reduce Storage Costs with EFS. Yes, that's right. Reduce storage costs with EFS. If you're playing along at home, please go ahead and go out there and search for that lab, and feel free to run right against Lars.
So just for if you're watching, so I'm on the hands-on labs page for the ACG platform, and there's a lovely search there. That's all I did. And just for a bit of first impression here, I don't know what EFS is. I mean, I can read that it's Elastic File System, and I'm guessing it has something to do with the file system. And knowing Amazon, it's probably not. Like, it's like, oh, we want to do a website. It's called Beanstalk, right? So this is probably to do with Kubernetes. Who knows? So there's a bit of a dig. Sorry, one of my pet peeves is Amazon naming, because it makes no sense. All right. So if everybody's ready, I'm going to click on this, and we'll see what happens, right? So this is an apprentice lab for AWS. And yes, I am a complete Microsoft nerd. So I've been using Azure for about, what is it now, 12 years, 11 years, something like that, since it was really not usable. So I know a whole bunch about Azure, and I'm going to try and see if I can use that knowledge to somehow make sense of this. So we'll see. So here's the description of what the lab is. Amazon Elastic File System, yada, yada, yada. You can probably read that as well, because it's on the screen. So it lets you provision or manage storage. Okay. We modify 3 existing EC2 instances. EC2 that's a VM, I think. I'm pretty sure that's a VM.
Yep.
To use a shared EFS storage volume instead of duplicated elastic block. Oh God, I don't know what that means. Okay, this reduces cost significantly. I get that bit. All right, so we're going to swap something out on a VM, on 3 VMs. Sorry. So we're going to have 1 location of data instead of 3. All right. By the end of the lab, you will understand, big ask, how to create EFS volumes. Alrighty, so we have some objectives, which is we need to create the EFS file system, we need to mount it and test it, and we need to remove the old data, obviously, because we're moving it. So that's what we have. So is this where I do the challenge bit, or do I have to open it first?
Oh,
Start the lab.
Yeah, start the lab.
No.
It's all right, I'll go back.
No.
I'm getting mixed instructions here.
I know.
Sorry.
At least I can blame someone.
You can blame me.
I can just do this, can't I?
You may have to. Yeah, it may have set a cookie for you.
Yeah. See, this is genuinely live. We have not rehearsed this.
Oh,
I got it. It's up here.
It's the guided.
Yes.
I got it. Yay.
That's
All right. And I can see there are people on the stream going, oh God, what a clot. That's okay.
Is this included in the time estimate? Because someone just mentioned an 18-minute time estimate, which was that seemed aggressive to me.
No. It'll be from I go in and do the lab. It must be, because there's a little video we're gonna watch as well first. Yeah. So just so heads up, and this is just launching now. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. So actually, Lars, I really appreciate that you were talking through a lot of the stuff that you were thinking about when you were looking at the
Yeah.
different pieces of information, because I think that that's one of the things that a lot of people really need to understand, that when they're jumping into a new situation, and there's going to be a lot of stuff that they don't know, but there are definitely going to be pieces of information that they can start pulling together. So you're talking about volumes, you're talking about file systems, you're talking about things that do have you have some familiarity with, but there are, of course, a lot of the Amazon specifics that you won't know anything about,
Yeah.
or not much about anyway. So.
And I think I'm also a bit privileged in the way that Azure is so good at naming. Right, if you have a file system, it's called Azure File System. If you have a VM, it's called Azure VM, kind of thing, right? So that makes just like immediately makes sense. Whereas if you're in the AWS world, I mean, it takes a bit of time to get up to speed, but then it just becomes second nature, I'm sure. But actually, having that mind map from one to the other becomes tricky, because I don't know what Amazon wet fish is, right? I don't know the correlation. So, okay, I'm not gonna press challenge. Did you see that, everybody?
Yes.
It's a challenge
Yes.
lab mode, right? So if you have access, which you can get with the Premium Plus annual subscription, you can choose challenge mode as well. So I'm going to start the lab now. Am I allowed, Scott? Is that right?
Yep, go ahead.
Hey, okay, we're going to start the lab. So I'm going to try and set up some file systems and change them over on some VMs, which are not called VMs, called EC2, and then we'll go from there.
EC2 for Elastic Compute Cloud, which of course makes so much more sense, right? Now you think immediately VMs.
Elastic Compute.
Right.
Yep.
It's Elastic Compute Cloud, right? Or Cloud Compute? I can't even remember which one. I thought it was Elastic Anyway. Yeah. The point is, remember that EC2 means VMs, and now you've got that connection.
I do.
Actually, this is a good time, I think, to mention that we have also a series that is talking about the cloud comparisons. So if you understand one cloud, watching these videos that we have up on YouTube or up on our platform, for free, by the way, they can help you understand what that means in the other clouds. So you can have a better time and communicating. It's kind of like Scott was mentioning, it's kind of like the Rosetta Stone of cloud services. Yeah, I think we can get a link probably in the chat. I say say something like this, and then magical links appear from our awesome moderators. They deserve claps as well, because they're yeah, it's gonna happen soon, I'm sure. This is definitely a useful series for you to check out. So.
Are you saying I should have watched that?
Oh, well, I mean, if you had, that definitely would have boosted you forward. You might have been in shot of, in range of that 18-minute one. Maybe not. I don't know.
I should just explain, this is taking a while to launch, because at times we're actually doing a proper live AWS sandbox instance to do the labs, right? And just sometimes there's a lot of run on them, and we're trying to get resources to launch these things, and sometimes it takes longer than others. So, it says finalize your lab now. Sometimes it goes real quick. It also depends a little bit on the lab, what resources we have to spin up, because creating a VM takes longer than, say, creating a network group, right? So those things are just part of it. So that's why we're doing it live, to kind of give you the full experience, I guess. We're not cheating in any way, except for the video in a little bit. We will play that for you, not through my screen share, because it wouldn't work. But other than that, everything is as I see it live. So.
Yeah, actually, something to point out about that is that we do also have a bunch of labs that are marked as instant labs. So we have sort of set up environments, which is an entire account, AWS account, GCP account, Azure account, whatever this Azure subscription, whatever they call them, project in GCP. Anyway, one of those just sitting there, ready for you to press the start lab, and then you instantly get into that one. This one is, well, maybe after today it'll be more popular because more people will be going through it. But there are some of them that have a larger set of those that are sitting waiting, and others have fewer. But yeah, the fact that we're creating an entirely new environment is actually a really big deal, because then you're protected, right? You're limited. You're not at risk of having your own, your own wallet attached to the learning that you're doing.
No, it's Scott's wallet.
Wonderful.
Right.
I approve.
No, that's a very good point, because I've talked to a lot of companies over the years, and one of the best ways to really upskill folks is let them get hands-on. And of course, the natural thing is you create accounts for them. Well, the problem is sometimes those little sandbox accounts miraculously transform themselves somehow into production mission critical accounts, which is never a good thing, right?
Makes me shiver.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So using, use the A Cloud Guru accounts that are literally throwaway accounts. You can't mess anything up. There are actually controls that have been placed on those accounts to make sure that you're not going to do anything that's destructive. And if you do mess up, you just end the lab and restart the thing. And
like we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Actually, one time before, I had collected a bunch of stories that people had given of accidental overspend that they had done during their learning process. It was interesting. It ranged from like, oh, I had an elastic IP address that I was charged for, and it was like a couple bucks a month, to, oh, I left my my instances running. One person said, I was playing around and I thought I'd try a really beefy RDS instance, and then I remembered about it a couple of months later, a month later, and it was hundreds of dollars. One person, $60,000 because they had they had
Stop talking about
accidentally
this.
turned
It's horror
on.
stories.
It is, but the whole point is that if you're doing your learning in a sandboxed environment, you're not
Yep.
exposed to those things, right? So
All right, if
it's
you've
a
just joined us,
big
I just
deal.
want to recap here. I'm doing this AWS hands-on lab that I have never seen before. Scott has just told me what it is, and I'm trying to go through my Azure knowledge and figure out how it works on AWS in challenge mode. So it is now loaded. It took a little bit, but you can see there's a timer up the top right. It's counting down. I have 49 minutes left to finish the lab. And there's an introduction, which we read before. I have to change some file system on a VM to another type of file system. It's got to go from, oh God, what was it? It's got to use EFS storage volume instead of duplicated elastic block store volumes. And I don't know what any of that means. But we're going to reduce some costs. Hey! So this is the normal screen you see for hands-on lab. I have some challenge objectives at the bottom, well, prerequisite. It says log into the AWS environment using the credential provided there on the right here. So we'll do that in a minute. And then there are some challenge objectives. So the first is I have to create an EFS file system. I have to call it shared web. That is how we measure if you actually created the right thing, right? That's how the system behind the scenes go and check it out. So that's important that you follow the objectives. And then I got to mount it and test it. Also create a directory and then copy some data to it from data. And then I got to remove the old data. So those are the three things I have to do to complete this challenge lab. So I think we can start by logging in. And if you haven't joined our little competition, there's a link in the chat that takes you to a little survey that says how long does it take me to finish it. And yes, perfect. I might also not finish it. Who knows? So to enter the AWS console, that's called the portal in Azure. So now it's the console. It's basically just how you interact with Azure AWS resources through a browser. So I'm going to open this link in incognito. So I'm going to go to a different screen. So here we go. So I'm going to paste that in, whatever that gave me. There we go. And then I have to go, it actually, no, see, it's got myself in there. That's not right. So I'm going to have to go back and copy the username. So that's the username.
Uh-oh.
What? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I did actually get it right, though.
Yeah. It's okay. You recovered
it's the same,
well.
but yeah.
So that's the cloud server, web server. I don't even know. That's instant terminal. Hey, what? Okay, we'll get to that. I have no idea. And I'm going to sign in, I guess.
You got to, no.
No? What? I'm signed in. What's wrong? What do people say in the chat? Nope. People say 1 hour. That's not very kind. Did I get that wrong?
There was still a field that had wrong information in it, but I
No, I copied the username from here instead of there, but it's the same username.
Yeah, it seemed like it still logged you in though.
Ha
Yeah, I
ha.
think it's okay. I think it's okay. I think
1-0 Lars. Whee! So
We'll find out. At
Yep.
this
all right.
point, I think we'll have to be checking the instant replay later or seeing what the result is. But yeah,
Oh God, no,
let's
don't
just
do that.
move on.
Yeah, I'm moving on.
Did we
So I'm now in the
mention that this is
console.
live to everyone who's watching? Totally live, not scripted. Yeah.
Oh right.
Yep.
So it did say in here. I'm going to switch back and forwards quite a few times. So I'm using Alt Tab on my keyboard here. All right. I got to make sure I'm in North Virginia, US East 1, which I am because that's what it says up there, I believe. Yeah, US East 1. All right. I'm not going to touch that. Now I got to figure out. I want to look at this. Where are the? I should have some VMs. It says 3 existing EC2 instances. How do I get to the EC2 instances?
Well, that's
Services.
a good question.
All services. Compute. Hey.
Very
Look at
good
that.
guess. Uh-huh.
Ah, very good.
Aha.
Nice job.
So now that loads. So I was sort of going by because Azure has a similar menu on the left, which makes way more sense than does. Oh, no, I'm being annoying it. Okay, I've got now resource. Hey, I got 3 instances running. I got 3 instances. Hey, I guess I got 6 volumes, 2 security groups, and nothing else. Okay, and then a whole bunch of stuff.
Do you want to watch
That
the intro
is
video?
Not important. Oh, I shouldn't I? I apologize.
well,
Where
up
is
to
the
you.
intro video? It
in
didn't
the,
actually come up. That's why I forgot.
Yeah,
Welcome to this lab where we will learn how to reduce our storage costs with EFS. EFS is Amazon's Elastic File System. Let's take a look at the infrastructure that I've configured for you. We have our AWS account, and in the US East 1 North Virginia region, we have 3 EC2 instances, and all 3 currently use an EBS volume to store database data for the websites that they host. Our scenario is that since the website data is actually the same across all 3 instances, it would make sense to migrate this data to a shared Elastic file system. So in this lab, we're going to replace the EBS volumes with EFS, and we'll reconfigure them to ensure everything works properly. This will save us a considerable amount of money, as we will only be paying for storing the files once instead of 3 times. We'll be doing all of these modifications in a specified maintenance window, so there's no need to redeploy our servers with new configurations, and by the time everything is set up, you'll actually see how quickly we can modify an existing server to switch to using EFS for storage. When you're ready, log into the AWS console with the credentials provided, and we'll get started.
All right. So now you have some
Okay.
extra info. I
Alrighty.
think we may have mentioned it. We're live. We're doing this.
Yeah, apologies for that,
yeah,
people. So
unscripted.
that was we thought that video would come as part of the challenge lab, but it didn't. But now you got it. It's just a quick intro to what I sort of went through, right? So that was Nick telling you all the little bits of details in the diagram. So I'm back in the hands-on lab part of it here. I need to create first is an EFS file system. So that's what I'm going to focus on because that's my challenge objectives. So I had a quick look at the console. I'll just go back to it here, and you can see my EC2 resources. So I've got 3 instances running. I got 3 instances. I'm guessing that's the same instances. It just tells me how many of them are running. And then 6 volumes, etc., etc. But the first objective is to create a EFS file system called shared web. So I'm going to do that. I'm guessing I can just go EFS up here. Aha. So that worked well. So that's just a search bar at the top. Azure has a very similar thing. It gives you a whole bunch of stuff. That's kind of neat. Blogs, documentation. Yeah, that's exactly the same as what's on the Azure platform. I'm guessing GCP has a similar thing, I would imagine. So
Yep.
I'm going to click on EFS and we'll see what comes up. All right, I'm still in North Virginia, so I'm guessing that's not going to change, even though I change between screens or between services. So, okay, so you can read about what it is. I'm on time here, so I'm not going to read all this, but there's some AWS marketing saying, hey, it's amazing, you should do it. So we're going to create a file system, I think, is my first. What else have I got on the left? file system access. These are links to other services, I think.
Yeah,
Anyway.
other ones.
Yeah, I'm going to create a file system. Hey, okay, name it. So that's where the challenge lab says you have to name it the name, which was shared web. So we're going to name it shared web. And virtual private cloud. So that's, I'm guessing that's the network. That's like a virtual network in Azure.
Yep.
And it
Good
doesn't
guess.
say anything about names. I'm just going to, I think for these hands-on lab in general, don't touch these things because it's all set up for you behind the scenes. And if you start messing with it, you're going to go into policy violations and stuff, and then we'll both just break. So for the hands-on labs, just leave these things in general. I'm just going to go with that because I don't have any more information to put in there from the challenge objectives. No. Okay. I'm going to create that.
Good to double check
All right.
there. That's definitely an important tip.
What is, sorry? I missed that.
Just double check the requirements before you move forward.
Yeah, just make sure you get all the names right and whatnot. And there's an ad here. Reduce your storage price to 8 cents a gigabyte per month using, okay. Well, that's not part of what I'm doing, but that might be useful. Not sure. Okay, so that went real quick. Some of these services are real fast to set up. Some are not. I know for Azure, if you set up what's called a Cosmos DB, it takes like half an hour. I'm sure there's services like that on AWS as well. So here's our file system. It has an ID. It's encrypted. Yay. Total size 6 kilobytes. Woo! It's like a floppy disk. And usually the way these file system works is that if you have a standard size, I'm just applying my Azure knowledge now, by the way. If you have a standard hard disk, you only pay for what you use. If you have like a premium and SSD type storage, you pay for the whole SSD no matter how much you use. So sometimes there's a discrepancy in how it's priced. Pricing is really fun on cloud computing.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a file system, availability zone, regional. Yep, that's all we set up. That's lovely. All right, so can I actually go and check this now? Well, how do I? No, I can't. How do I? Oh, I got to submit the lab. Okay, so I got to do all three before I can get any feedback. Fair enough. So I've done that. I think I've done the first objective. So now I'm going to mount this and test it. So I'm going to create a directory on that file system called EFS. Okay. So I'm guessing I'm going to click on it. Oh, create a file system. That's okay. Let's click on it. I think I should be able to go into it. Okay.
Do you want to double check that requirement that you're talking about?
It says create the directory EFS.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I have found now is that I have an attach button up here. So I know that's after I've created the thing. Oh, hang on. No, that's right.
Yeah, go ahead. Just keep going.
Yeah, create directory. Okay, so how do I create directory? What are people saying here? Give me some help, people.
Does someone in the chat want to give Lars
Nope.
some tips? Where should he go?
It's not edit. It's no, that's policy. Oh, I can type a policy in. That's useful. But it's not now. File
Someone says
okay.
Mount it.
Well, do I mount it first? It says create directory and then attach the EFS file system to our instance. Attach is the same as mount, I would argue. How do I create a directory? Do I go back to file systems?
Do we want a hint?
I might need a hint.
Let's see here. Okay, so on the little screen that gave you the login credentials, it gave you 2 sets of login credentials, right?
So I need to do something else. Okay.
Yeah, so some tips also, someone was saying mount it to the instance, maybe create in VM were some of the tips.
But I can try and launch this instant terminal. I'm not sure what the instant terminal is, but I'm launching it. It's like the Cloud Shell on Azure. Gotcha.
There you go.
Okay, so I need to then, how do I connect? So if you don't know, we have a few guides here. Okay, I've done all that. That's not what I wanted. Here, launch that. Enter the username and password, but it didn't ask me for username and password.
So you're already connected to the Cloud Shell. To the instant terminal. Sorry, Scott, did you want to jump in?
No, I was just going to make a clarification here. So the instant terminal here is an A Cloud Guru thing. You're not in AWS at this point. Okay?
Yeah.
So think about it as just like a very minimal Linux shell that you can get to other systems from.
That you can get to other systems from.
Yeah.
So it's just SSH.
There's actually 3 different ways that I know of how you can get into these systems. This is one of them.
Paste.
Yeah. Brandon BATL on Twitch says SSH into the instance, just as you were starting to do that as well.
Fantastic. Thanks, Brandon. This is I haven't done this before. I genuinely have. Oh, not password. Hang on. Anti-password. Yep. Come on. Aha.
Nice.
I now have a thing.
Nice.
Oh God, now I got to do Linux things.
Yeah. Hey, SQR01 says, you're doing great, Lars.
Thank you. Yeah, this is interesting. So I'm hoping this is exactly the kind of learning experience that people will go through. That's kind of why we're doing it, right? And you can see my thought process is I'm relating it back to something I do know, which is Azure. Yeah. So constantly I'm going, oh, this is like the thing I already know. This is like the thing I already know. And that's really important when you're trying to learn a new concept. Is like, okay, how do I remember what this is? Related back to whatever. If you like knitting, think of different ways of knitting. Like, it does not matter. Just try and relate it to something that you know. And it makes it so much easier. Now, I'm guessing there's nothing here, so I can go and make it. What was it called again? EFS. Oh, God.
Mike Monroe on YouTube says it's like DOS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was also recommending SSH. So, yes.
I thought it was MD for make directory. Am I doing something wrong?
It's not quite like DOS. You've got a tip on the Twitch here. It's makedir/EFS. So, MKDIR.
Well, there is.
Sorry.
Okay. Well,
why is that not? Can I make this bigger, by the way?
What were you going to say,
no,
Scott?
I can't.
I was going to say, so all the sysadmins out there are cringing.
Oh yeah, we should mention
there we go.
that I'm a developer, right? I write code. I've written code for 20 years. I am not a sysadmin. Why is this not working? Come on, people. Do you mean make dick?
So
what?
So here you go. Here's a Linux tip. When in doubt, take out vowels. There you go.
Right.
Now what do you do?
Yeah.
Now what do you do?
Huh?
Sudo.
There you go.
Make me a sandwich.
So I got to give Lars credit here. To all of you who are watching, this is not Lars's comfort zone. This is way outside, right? So, I mean, you're a really good sport. This is doing all this stuff live. Yeah, good on you.
Okay.
How do I list? I thought it was LS.
Well, so when you log in to Linux, you log into your home directory. So that's where you're at right now. So think about that.
Okay. But why can't I list? How do I list all the directories? I want to see my path. Come on, people.
All right.
Help me out here.
PWD for print working directory, if that's what you're wondering where you are.
But
I think that, well, so now it shows you that you're in /home/cloud_user.
Yeah, but how do I list
is that
the
where you wanted
I
to
have
list?
now? Oh, this is awesome. Thanks, people. People are helping now.
Yeah.
Was it list? Yeah, I did try PW. What?
So,
okay.
So, all right, D3KYLLA says ls space -l space /.
What does the space slash do?
Here we
go. Slash
Can I do
is what you're
ls
listing.
Lars? Does that work? Hey!
Apparently it does.
Fantastic.
L for long.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have now created a EFS directory. Oh, because I got to do a slash or something, don't I?
Yes. It's in
God,
your
who
root
came up with
file
this
system.
system?
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Look, it only took about 10 minutes. Okay.
Have we
Now,
mentioned this
is
is
there
live
any
and unrehearsed? Sorry, go ahead.
very unrehearsed? Okay. Now I gotta attach it. Oh, I hope I don't have to do that through Linux.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I? Oh, now I go into it. So, is there no way to just humor me here? Is there no way to do it through the console?
To attach into the instance through the
No,
console?
to create the directory.
No. No.
No, you need to be on the instance.
Wow. You people should try Azure. So
Hey, Simon, you can definitely help him. As a matter of fact, he can use some help now. We're at the point where we've created a mount point on our EC2 instance, and now Lars is trying to figure out how to mount the EFS file system that he created inside that instance.
So I'm going to try and click attach and see what that does. Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Mount your Amazon EFS file system on Linux instance. So do I just copy this? I think. I don't know.
Well, let's see.
By the way, I'm keep looking down because I've got the YouTube chat. I haven't got the Twitch chat, so I'm looking at what everybody's writing just to get man mount.
There we go. Okay.
Man mount
Man.
is man manual.
Man is manual.
Yep.
Right. So. Jeepers. Okay. Right.
I think you might be able to make it a little bigger by doing the Control Plus
Yeah.
in your browser. Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
That'll be better for the stream.
Yeah. Better for me. Okay. Mount. Okay. So I'm just going to go back and look. What? Oh, no, that wasn't there. Sorry. Here. So that, yes, I've copied it. Thank you. So mount -t EFS -o. Okay. What does that mean? -t. Oh, I lost something.
Yeah, I think you need to issue a quit out of that and then issue a clear command.
Yeah.
And then you can do the do your man again. Yep.
No, I gotta don't do it. I have to click something. You won't scroll down.
Ah.
So T must be target. I've kind of figured that. And EFS is what I want to mount. And O is probably origin. Is it origin?
So it said -t was type.
Oh,
So the
that's
type of mount. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. EFS. Oh, right, because I created an EFS. That makes sense. So the type is the EFS, which was the elastic file store. And what is -o? Come on.
I'll just
God,
save
okay.
you some time here. O is options.
Option. Yep.
Yeah. And,
And
there's
that's-
all manner of junk that can go in there. So as an
Yeah,
example,
exactly.
look
That's
at
what
the
I figured.
line below.
So using the NFS client. I don't know if I'm using the NFS client. I don't think I am. So I'm going to try that command and I'm going to see what happens, which is what I would do normally, right? If in doubt, press all the buttons, basically. So I'm going to paste that. So that's what we got. I just got that from clicking attach in the console, and we get this sudo mount -t EFS whatever, and I'm guessing that is that the ID for it? Yes. So that's the ID of the mount. All right. Cool. Okay.
To help us
And
giving
then-
you the right ID there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I figured it'd be that clever. All right. See what happens. Great. Okay. So I don't have a mount point.
So you're getting a tip that you should change the path.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in the EFS directory, and then you're referring to the EFS
That I'm in.
directory. Yeah.
All right. So now I'm back in my home directory or root or whatever. Let's try again. That was a good tip. That was because I blame Scott. Okay, let's try and mount it again.
Oh, wah, wah, wah.
Okay. Unknown file system type, EFS. Hey? But I just created that.
So there are a few different references to EFS here, and in this case, it's saying that the file system type of EFS is the one that it wasn't understanding.
So why does it not understand that? I don't know. What are people saying? The last EFS should be dash. Oh, so the
EFS.
command is wrong? So should it be like that? Oh, Jesus.
No.
Like that?
No, you need the trailing slash on the first part there too.
On the colon slash.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Nope.
Yep.
So
missing,
what you just did there was you gave it a fully qualified reference to /EFS instead of changing to the parent directory. So you actually already worked around that particular thing that you got a tip around. So you either could have done cd ... like you did, or cd space ... Linux, or you could have done the adding the slash to EFS. But that's not the problem that you. So someone asked, "Can I change my time? 2.5 hours."
Exactly. See?
Ouch.
I did say you could say do not finish, right? All right.
All right.
Okay.
I'm watching YouTube here. Anybody get an idea? Why doesn't EFF? Why doesn't? Okay. So yeah, that's a good question. So what's wrong with EFS as the file system type? Anybody know the answer to that?
I don't know. I'm in an EFS thing that I'm attaching. So, and I'm onto a VM that I've attached to. Then I think I'm on that VM. No, hang on. There's 3 VMs. So how do I know which one I'm on?
So you picked an IP address, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you attach then to that particular IP address of that particular instance?
That's because there's 3 of them here. I didn't know there was I couldn't see the extra bit. Yep. So I got to do this for 3 of them.
Sure, but I mean, once you figure out the first one, my guess is it'll be a little faster for the other 2.
Right, just write a bash script for
I'd say so. So Simon's saying EFS mount like S3. That's not helpful. I don't know what S3 is either.
Johnny's saying will not finish.
Yeah.
All right, we got
Johnny, out.
about 10 minutes. Out. 10 minutes left to the hour here.
Jeebus. Yeah, I genuinely don't know where to go from here.
Okay. All right, I'll give you some hints here.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Okay, so there's 2 ways to mount EFS. EFS is an NFS compatible file system. And so one way to do that is use something called the EFS helper, which is a creation from Amazon that you can install on your systems that allows it to basically simplify, and there's a little bit of a performance increase in using the helper as a driver to mount your EFS volumes. Now, in our case right now, it seems to be that the EFS helper driver is not installed on our instances. So what we have to do now is we can use the good old-fashioned NFS method of mounting these. So if you go back to your console and you look at the next line down there, when you do the attach, that big old long fat command here, basically it's kind of the same thing, but it includes NFS, which if you're familiar with Linux, really any network file system, NFS 4 has been around forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
I'm familiar with NFS.
Yeah. So we'll just try to use this method and see if we're able to succeed there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. So that thing.
Yep,
So I'm guessing this is now I'm saying the type is NFS4, which is what you just explained is compatible with EFS. So for all
Yes.
intents and purposes, this is going to try and use a different protocol that where the driver is installed to try and mount this to this particular VM that I'm on. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. We'll give that a
Provided we
go.
have NFS installed, which looks like it is.
Yeah, it's not. Well, it's not failing immediately, so that's a start.
You got some other tips as well on the chat that you could potentially sudo apt install NFS common to get the driver installed. But
Yep.
I think we're moving forward here. So those are good tips. So
The cool
David
thing though
Soul
is
was
that,
handing those
like,
out.
as much as
Sorry,
we're
go ahead.
laughing at me, I am actually learning quite a lot out of this. Because yes,
Excellent.
I don't use Linux. I know Scott uses Linux a lot. I use if you compare this to Azure. You do all of this in the portal, which is the console. So you would click a button and it would just work. Like Microsoft's quite good at hand holding in that sense. Or if you want to do this, where you use the Cloud Shell, and there would be an Azure CLI path to do this. So the fact that I'm now logged in through SSH, which I have used before because I do networking stuff on my farm where I use SSH into different devices. But the fact that I'm not doing that and having to actually learn the Linux way of doing things is quite cool, even if I have no idea of what I'm doing, right? So this works.
I think that is. Oh, go ahead, Scott.
I was going to say, normally this comes back within a couple seconds. So I'm thinking we have some sort of other problem here. So I would Control-C out of this and let's. I do know that you see how you don't have the what's it called? The /EFS. You just have EFS. That may be causing a problem there. So you might want to give it try that. See. Yeah.
Maybe.
We'll see.
There she blows.
By the way, A Siren's song on Twitch says, "I feel validated in my struggle with this lab, lol." And I think that that's a very good point, right? Because all of us, when we jump into these things, there are some things we know and some things we don't, but it doesn't matter. The whole point is learning, right? It's not about successfully getting through the lab in the quickest time possible because, I don't know, your job depends on it. No, the whole point is to learn the stuff so that later you can draw on this experience. You can understand these different things that you've been battling. And you'll learn these lessons much more strongly when you struggle, actually. I have other stories of my own from that. Yeah.
Still not working though. And the other thing is that we actually tend to do this with courses on ACG as well. The material that I create for the platform, I just did a short ACG fundamental thing on how to use SQL. And I left in a bunch of the errors that I got back because that is a bigger learning journey, getting like the foreign key constraint validation and all those things back, as is the golden path, right? And this is part of that learning experience, is that we just keep failing till we succeed. So even though this is timed and this is not going well right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure why this is not. So again, probably this is the struggle of somebody that would get in this and they would try to figure out what to do next. From this point, I would probably try to ping that endpoint. There could be a step in this lab where we need to create an endpoint in our VPC. If you're an AWS person, you kind of understand what I'm saying there.
I did understand that, to be honest.
Okay.
I did actually get that. Let me just go back here.
So one thing we could do, wait a second, before we navigate off of, we can try to attach via IP rather than DNS because there could be something in the DNS that's not like in our, there we go.
So do that? Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, give that a shot.
Yep, try that.
All right, so I'm not going to, oops. Okay.
Because if we are kind of firewalled inside a VPC, then we probably wouldn't be able to reach the publicly resolvable address. This seems to be.
Does this lab require us to open up the ports for this, or is that?
It could.
Yeah, it doesn't say so, but it could be. This is still. I think it should be pretty quick, shouldn't it? Mounting stuff. Is just associated.
Okay.
It should.
So.
Oh no!
Last thing.
Yep. Yeah, that's not going to work. So what it's kind of indicating to me is that it just can't connect on the NFS port.
Yeah, that's what
So
it seems
the
like.
next thing we probably want to do is go check the ports and make sure we have NFS port open to these VPCs, or yeah, these VMs.
So you're getting
So
some
let's
tips
see, we
from
got,
Brandon BATL again about security groups. So maybe
yep,
check
yep,
that.
Okay,
good
so I'm
tip.
going to go into this, what I think of as virtual networks, a
Mhm.
VPC. So I have one VPC, 3 subnets. I'm guessing there's a subnet for each VM. Okay. Security groups. So that it must be like a security group on Azure, to be honest. NSG network security group. So I got 2. So there's a default. One permission entry. Okay, so I don't know which one I'm at. I'm gonna go with that one. Okay, the rules here. All traffic allow, all port. Is it allow? How do I see if it's allow or deny?
That's your default
Yeah.
group, and default's usually pretty wide open.
All right, so AWS allows all traffic from everywhere.
Not, I mean, you have control over that.
Yes, but by
Yeah.
default. Okay. Right, so I have an SSH inbound rule. Yeah.
So this
Show
is
us
why
from
you can connect
anywhere.
in through SSH, right?
So I'm just, again, I'm trying to relate this to what I know. How do I know if this is allow or deny? Because in Azure, it'll say all of this and then allow or deny. That rule is allowing or denying the traffic. How do I know?
So when it says inbound, it is allowing. Or inbound rules, we're going to allow HTTP. If we didn't want to allow HTTP, we would get rid of that line. We would check the little box beside it and
All
get
right.
rid of it.
So we allow SSH and HTTP, outbound.
Yeah, you got 2 tips that are very good. So Carl Kierpe says security groups can only allow, and David Soul says all deny except if allowed. So.
Yep, gotcha.
Answers your questions, right?
All right, we're coming up 2 hours, or 2 minutes
2
left.
hours! What? Oh, time machine.
2 minutes left.
All right. This looks all right to me, or am I missing something? I don't know what's wrong. Security groups. Yep. So do I go back to, how do I go back?
So you're not trying to have something connect inbound. Sorry, go ahead, Scott.
I was going to say, I will admit this is a bit, it's pretty difficult if you don't have kind of some background on AWS. Do remember that we're dealing with VMs here, and you can assign security groups to virtual machines.
So do I look at the virtual machines and see what security groups they have, or does it go the other way, or both ways?
Yeah, usually you get information both ways, but sorry, go ahead, Scott. You want to say?
No, I was just going to say, just to kind of move things along here, I would go to EC2 console. I would see what security groups your instances are using. I have a hunch it's going to be the one that's not default.
So you've just gone back to the network side of things.
Yeah. So do I go to the instances?
Yeah, look at the instance.
Yeah, so they all got that non-default one.
Yep. Okay.
So go to that, I'm guessing. Is that what you're saying?
Well, so those security groups have, if you remember outbound traffic, they allow all outbound. And they're only allowing HTTP and SSH inbound, right? Okay. Now your EFS instance, if you think about that as kind of a quasi virtual machine, it has a security group too. So So you want to figure out a way that you can let these VMs attach to that EFS instance.
So this doesn't say anything.
Okay, so by default, it just grabbed the default security group. Right.
So I can manage that, I'm guessing. So that's the other one. It's got to be the other one. It's not default. Do I still remove the other one, or does it not matter?
No, I mean, honestly, I think, yeah.
I missed that, sorry.
Oh, leave them both on for now. Don't remove any security groups, because you're trying to open it up so that you can get through.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad there was a visual way of doing this.
So you're getting some tips. Allow security group for the instances to allow TCP 2049 from the security group of the EFS, says Brandon BATL. So TCP 2049 is a useful piece of information if that is what we're hitting here.
So is 2049 the port that EFS uses?
That's what Brandon is giving you a tip about.
Gotcha. Okay. So those, by the way, those are really good to know. There are default ports for most services. And now Brandon obviously knows that 2049 is the one for EFS. But those are really good. It's like a cheat sheet of ports, because ports get you into trouble all the time. There's some that are easy, like RDP ports, SSH to HTTP, those things that we use all the time. But service-specific ports are really useful to know about, because as you see now, it might be something that we need to open up. So
yeah, in particular, that's NFS.
Yeah. So I'm just going to try it again now, right? I suspect.
Yeah. Oh no.
Right.
You got kicked out.
Well, because I changed it, right? It's all right. It's all right.
Is it not in the history? Can you not up arrow for that?
You and your history. Probably quicker doing that.
Maybe it is.
All right, so we're back.
Okay,
I can't use up arrow. Okay.
Just as a yeah, I would probably do via IP port.
Yeah. Okay, we'll try without the dat. Oh, that was quick. So, what have we learned? It seems
I wouldn't
that
declare victory just now.
No. But I didn't get this far before. Okay, so that means I probably did need that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Celtic
Because I didn't get that far before.
Gives you a good shout out from Twitch. Lars, considering you have no experience with Linux and AWS, you're being a really good sport. Thumbs up.
But thank you very much. But the thing is, I don't mind failing. I don't mind. Hey, I did AZ104. I've done that AZ100, and I've done AZ104 twice, and I failed all the time, because that's the sysadmin part of Azure, right? And I'm going to keep going till I get it right. So just because we stand here and we are on the live stream and we're trying to do that doesn't mean that we have more knowledge than all of you guys combined at all. It just means that we're willing to kind of say this is the motions that we go through to try and learn a new thing. So yeah, I appreciate that. It's I don't mind at all sharing failure points and learnings. That's kind of why we're here. And this is still not working.
Yeah, so I have a hunch that there's a few other things that we need to do here, but I think we're at we're 5 minutes after the hour, so I think we may have to call it. And
all right, so just to call it, I'm going to submit the lab because I've got 7 minutes left, and we'll see what it says. Yeah, just for kicks.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what is the ACG platform going to tell me. So I passed that bit. I completed the mounting, which is a lie, and I removed the elbow as that would fail. So I got 67%.
You got some parts of the mounting done. So it was like, part way, maybe a little bit.
I know.
And It's being generous, but it's
It didn't pass it, it just completed.
someone would like to change their time to did not complete. Yeah, well, it's
I
a
did say that was
little
a
late
valid
for
option.
that.
A pass is a win, says Mike Monroe.
I like it. I'll take it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
So next time, Scott's going to do Oracle Cloud.
absolutely.
Got a shout out to your Azure
Absolutely.
This Week episodes, and lots of love for you and appreciation. So there is, honestly, I would like to put the question out to all of you viewers here. What did you think of this in terms of seeing someone go through this? Do you find now that you have a little bit more, maybe I can just jump in and try some stuff out too? Like, does that feel like something that you'd be more ready to do because you're, I don't know, encouraged that other people are also going to fail at it? I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, we're all struggling with these things at different times. And I definitely will also be struggling with similar things to Lars. So this isn't just Lars. And I'm sure Scott the same thing, right? So all of us are like that. And I hope that what you take away from it, yes, I see, yes, 100%. I hope that what you take away from it is the encouragement that this is a strong way of learning, a strong way of moving forward, that this is an investment. You're spending time to invest in your learning process because you come away with an understanding of what you don't know. And learning what you don't know that you don't know is the first step to then being able to learn that thing that you don't know. And you can go and look into the documentation, you can follow some instructions, you'll be much more receptive to these things. Would you like us to do these things again? That's another question that I'll ask for you all to answer. Sorry, Scott, did you also want to add something there? Looked like you were.
Well, I was just going to say the very same thing. If this format, kind of departure from our normal exam walkthrough was kind of interesting, we'd love to do these things again. And maybe if one of our audience is willing to kind of throw their hat into the ring, we'd love to have a guest do some of this as well.
Yeah,
definitely.
So
I see lots of yeses, absolutely, 100%. Yes, do it again. That was great. No progress without struggle. This is a very good thing. I appreciate that you all are engaged with this, and that's really good feedback for us. So I'd love to have people jump in and say, I'm willing to be that guinea pig, to jump in and try stuff out. It's a good way of learning for all of us, right? So
we'll do it on Azure. It's way easier.
there you go. Yeah. All right, well.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you everybody for joining us. This was definitely very fun for us. Also, just kind of if you want to see the three stooges, as we're sometimes called, hang out on Twitch or on Discord. Usually, I guess we've been doing it about every month now. We have a Discord office hours. So if you want to interact with us, come chat, tell us a joke, ask us a question. We're there.
The next one's December 16, from memory.
Cool.
Something like that. Yeah, be sure to check because Lars lives in the future. He lives in Australia, so his 16th is North America's 15th in a lot of cases.
It might be the other way around. I think it's.
Oh yeah,
16th.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Whatever.
I don't know if our magical moderators could let us know which.
Secondly, if anybody that may be watching us here or in the future happens to be at reInvent, we are going to have an in-person presence at reInvent this year.
Not me.
I'm going to be there, not Lars. I'm going to be there. Matthias, you're going to be there?
Yes, I am going to be there. And I can confirm, by the way, it's December 15th at 4 p.m. Pacific time. That's my time zone. So do the math from December 15th at 4 p.m. Pacific to figure out when you should log on. And there'll be stuff in the Discord. So we'll get you the links to the Discord, definitely, because that's the first way. Oh, there's already a Mel. Awesome. Thanks for posting that in there. So, yes. Yeah,
All right.
yeah, we're going to be
Very
there.
good.
I hope to see other people at reInvent as well. That's one of the key fun things about reInvent is getting to see people in person. So
Definitely.
swing by the booth, definitely.
That sounds good.
Absolutely. All right.
Thank you so much, everybody. This was a really interesting experience, and I genuinely, as you probably figured, did not prepare for this. Right, so I had no idea what was coming. So it was really good. I actually enjoyed it as much as I, relied on help and whatever. But that's how we work, right? So it was very good. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much again, Lars. Awesome sport. Seriously awesome sport. That was awesome. Great job. All right.
Cool.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.
Bye.